Hi everyone, an exciting video because the count we had on the lower time frame is playing out perfectly, and that also means that on the lower time frame I have a couple of new counts at the moment, but as always I like to start on the higher time frame with this particular video at 7 AM CET in the morning so that we actually know where we are in the charts. Now my bullish scenario on the higher time frame is that this ABC is not yet finished and that we are still waiting for wave 4 and then eventually a wave 5 of the green count that you see over here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now most commonly in a wave 4 is an expanded flat, which is a 3-wave move down followed by a 3-wave move up and then a 5-wave move to the downside, ending somewhere inside this white box, before then getting a move to the upside to end somewhere in the common wave C target area, which is the white box, or the rare wave C target area as a bare minimum. The invalidation is taking the low over here at 20.3k, as a wave 4 is usually not allowed to go below the 0.5 Fibonacci taken from the low of 2 to the high of 3. The bearish scenario on the high time frame is that wave 5 and therefore wave C is already finished, therefore wave B is finished, the bigger B, and we move to the downside and see much lower prices, even below the lows that we made a few weeks ago at 15.5k. Now in this case we have a ending diagonal to finish the 5th. The ending or the invalidation is at 25.3k. The moment price is going to go above this level, this whole scenario will be invalidated. On the medium time frame I have two bullish scenarios and actually one changed just a little bit, but I have two bullish scenarios and I have one bearish scenario. The bullish scenario that I favor at the moment is that this is a WXY count and that now we're looking for a 3-wave move to the upside to finish B, then go down for C wave and also finish wave 4, that is. And then if we finish wave 4 with a nice C wave to the downside, we can then move up for wave 5. The other alternative bullish scenario that I have is that this is a WXY, then an X, and then a Z. So we go down once more. And in previous videos I had this as an A, then a B, and then a C. However, due to the length of this count, wave 4 might already be in if this is a WXYXZ. Now a wave 4 tends to be a complex wave, while a wave 2 tends to be quite an easy wave. And a wave 2 tends to be a zigzag, which is a 5-3-5 type of wave. However, a wave 4 tends to be complex, which means you can have flats like the expanded flat, you can have the WXYs, you can have WXYXZs. So in this case I now put wave 4 over here and we see what price is going to give us in order to get better predictions for what price might do in the future. So in this case we would then at least find a move to the upside in 3 waves, which we actually already have on the local time frame, which I'll show you in a second. Possibly go down for Z, take the lows over here and then move up for 5. We'll have to see. The invalidation is taking the low at 21.4k. The bearish scenario, as mentioned, is basically having a ending diagonal, which then is followed by a 1, 2, and then another 1, the blue one over here, followed by another 2. So then you have a 1, 2, 1, 2 setup, which would lead to much more downside and a very explosive wave 3 to the downside usually. The invalidation is taking the high of the green wave 2, because if this is indeed a 1, 2 in blue, then the wave 2, the retracement of the blue 1, is not allowed to go above the origin of wave 1 above this level, so the invalidation is at 24.6k. The lower time frame counts are the ones that I get most excited about at the weekend, and one of those is the following. As you can see, there's a text box on the left, which I actually forgot to mention in previous videos, which is this low has been made at the weekend. And usually lows or highs that are made at the weekend will be taken at a later stage, because all the markets are closed, so they can't fill their positions, their longs in this case, at these lows. These are weekend lows, so these are retail traders that are taking their longs and are now in profit. Usually the market isn't that generous, let's say, but let's see what price might do. I do have a scenario for this low to be taken and still being bullish, which is actually the one that you're looking at right now. So over here, what we have is, in this case, we have an ABC in the blue A, then an expanded flat, followed by some sort of another expanded flat and then another one. It's a bit of a weird count, but then we have B over here, and then we have the explosive C. So we have an A, then a 3-wave B, and then eventually a C. Now the targets for this C is the 1-to-1, which actually, if I zoom in, we hit it perfectly over here. So to the dollar, hitting the 1-to-1, very, very nice. So wave C theoretically could then be in. The expansion for wave C, the further target, is the 1.618. And if we look at my target boxes, the 1.618 is in the middle of the previous target box that was already hit once over here, and my other target box. So I don't really like this 1.618 actually, because I like to see confluence with the areas of interest that I have, like the target boxes. But yeah, we'll see. The moment the target box gets hit, it also weakens, and usually price can then move further up. But we'll see if we find resistance over here with the scenario I have. Now, interestingly, if this is indeed a wave C, this could, and we need more price action, but this is a scenario, we could have this as a wave A, follow then, so this is then a 3-wave in the A. We could get a 3-wave B to take these lows and basically create an A-B expanded flat before then finding C to the upside. This would mean that then we would also take the lows that were made at the weekend, so the retail traders will be stopped out, and eventually we take these lows, the markets can fill their longs, fill their positions, and then move to the upside. So let's see what price is going to do, but this is at least a scenario that I have in mind. The B doesn't have to go all the way this deep and take this low, but at least it's one of the scenarios that I have. Got to try to think of everything. So this is the scenario that we had as well. So by the way, both the bullish scenarios, I forgot to mention with this one, is that over here in this A, B, C ended perfectly at the 1-to-1, and also the daily naked point of control was great support, as I highlighted yesterday already. With discount, I already mentioned this target area I was looking for as well, and it bounced perfectly at the daily naked point of control to the upside. In this case, this is an impulse, so we have a wave 1 or a wave A, followed by a 3-wave move to the downside, which then is wave 2 or wave B, and then now we're either in a wave 3, a blue 3, and then we get a 4, and then we get a 5. So then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or this is an A followed by a B and then followed by a yellow wave C. Now the targets for this scenario is a trend-based fib extension then that we take from the lows over here to the high at 1 or A to the low made in the night a couple of hours ago. And then for wave C, the 1-to-1 is an important target, which is over here at about 24.2K. And for a impulse, wave 3 should go to at least, or in general, at least the 1.618 Fibonacci, which is just above my target box there as well. So these are important targets to keep an eye on. Now, if wave C gets extended, then wave C, the next target will be the 1.618, but generally the 1-to-1 is a very common target. So these are, this is another scenario that I am looking at the moment. The invalidation for this scenario is actually not there. It's now the new lows that we made, because if this is indeed a 1, 2, and then eventually a 3, we don't want to see price returning to, well, where it came from. So 23.23025 is now the invalidation. The bearish scenario that I have more locally is the following. So I showed you this one yesterday as well, where this then is an A, B, C. So actually the scenario I just highlighted as well. And so the scenario that I highlighted, and this has to go to the low that we made. So you can see that the 1-to-1, and this 1-to-1 will go, is now perfectly in confluence with the 786. And I also showed you the weekly. Now, if you don't know about weeklies or daily, monthly, yearlies in that matter, if you don't know what a weekly is, please check out the video of which the card is popping up at the screen right now at the right top of the screen, because it's an educational video where I explain how to get to weeklies and what they are. So in this case, it's a resistance area, which is interesting. It has the 786, the 1-to-1 level for an ABC, as well as the weekly is over here. And basically in the bearish scenario, as this then is a 1-2-1-2, we would then expect price to tank to the downside and find much, much lower levels. The other bearish scenario that I have is, or at least more bearish, is that that is not an ABC, but we're in a WXY. So W here, followed by a 3-wave X, which is an expanded flat, followed then by another expanded, some sort of an expanded flat to the upside. So that means it's a WX and then eventually Y. Now the targets for a Y, the minimum target for a Y is the 0.618, then you have the 1-to-1, and then you have the 1.236. And those are the targets. It's the trend-based fib extension taken from the low of W to the high of W to then the low of X. So the first target, the 0.618, at the moment acts as resistance. So we'll see what price is going to do at this level. The 0.618 is a more rare target, I suppose. Usually the 1-to-1 or the 1.236 is a more common target. And I also put the weekly naked point of control on the chart, as you can see over here. I still have to make a video about an educational one about the naked point of controls, which I will do, but it's a volume level. So it's an important level to keep into account, and it has quite a nice confluence with the 1-to-1 as well. So these are the scenarios that I'm looking at. The next video will be at 1 p.m. today, so 1 p.m. CET, Central East European time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you do. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope to see you at the next one. Bye bye.